Hey everyone, it's Lucy from KBeautyHobbit.com. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. I'm so happy to have you here. I know it's really cliche to say I can't believe it's already December, but I truly can't believe it's already December, which means it's time for the best and worst of 2023 videos. This is the worst of 2023 video. I'll also have the best one. I'm not sure yet which order I'll put them out. Probably the best first, the worst second, but please watch both of them if you're interested in that. So today I'm going to show you the worst products in my 2023 experience. That doesn't mean that these were launched in 2023, it just means that they came into my life in 2023, or I started using them in 2023, whatever, and discovered that they are terrible. As always, this is just my opinion, this is just my experience, and if you love any of these, awesome. In fact, if you have some on the way because you ordered it before watching this video, I hope that it works for you and that you love it, because I always hope that you love whatever it is you're buying. These are in no particular order. Let's get started. The first one is the Haru Haru Wonder Black Rice Moisture Deep Cleansing Oil. I am honestly so surprised that this is a fail, because typically I like Haru Haru, or some of their products I'm just kind of indifferent toward, but I've never had one that I adamantly disliked until now. I don't like this one. It actually cleanses fine. It doesn't leave the skin stripped or anything, but it really irritates my eyes. And I normally wouldn't have necessarily included this in the fails of 2023 video, because I would have thought, oh, it's just me. That's just my weird eyes. They can't take something in this. However, when I posted a review for this in my group, Korean Beauty Fanatics, with 92,000 people in it, a lot of people said that they're having the same experience, that something in this oil is really making their eyes mad. And I've tried using this all different ways. You can see it's halfway out because I've been really trying. I thought, okay, maybe it's my new mascara. Tried it with my old mascara, same thing. I tried even doing it on the weekend when I have no eye makeup on and just applying it without touching the eyes, even though that's not ideal for me because I always put sunscreen on the eyes, but I thought, okay, let's try. And still, something about that on my face makes my eyes water and sting and itch. It's gone as soon as I wash it off, and maybe like, I don't know, a minute or two later. So thankfully it doesn't last, that reaction, but it makes for a very uncomfortable cleansing experience. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, because so many of you had the same reaction. I feel like I can't really give it away to somebody, but I also don't want to throw it out. So I think I'm going to hang on to it until spring and just use it to remove body sunscreen. And that's what I tend to do with a lot of cleansing oils that don't work for me. They still work typically to remove body sunscreen, and it should still be fine because I've only had it open for a little while, so I don't think it's gonna go bad by spring or summer, and just use it up that way. Next is this guy. This is the Skinfood Dark Circle Concealer with Salmon. You can see it's not very used because it is absolutely horrible. When it comes to makeup products, if they don't work for me, my first reaction is I don't know what I'm doing. Unless it's something like mascara or lipstick. When it's something like concealer, I'm thinking this is definitely user error. But for me, this was A, not quite the right color, but B, it made the texture under my eyes look just terrible. I couldn't melt it into the skin at all. It just felt like applying school glue with a little pigment in it. It was just sticky and gross, and I don't know, I just really didn't like it. I only tried it a couple of times and I could not make it work. So I reached out to my friend who's amazing, who does the best makeup. She went to beauty school and she wears makeup all the time and she looks fantastic, and a lot of my makeup that I can't use because I just can't get to it and I don't wear it enough goes to her. I gave it to her and I asked her later, like several months later, how is it? And she said it sucks. She had the same complaints. Terrible texture, doesn't blend, doesn't really cover well. So it's a fail for both of us. And when I posted a review about it, a lot of people said the same thing. There was only one person that I can think of off the top of my head who actually loves it. So take it how you will. If you love it, awesome. I think a lot of people probably got to try it because this came to me in a Stylevana advent calendar, the one from last year, but it took me a little while to open it. I think it was Stylevana one and Nadia Style, yeah. Last year I had 2 advent calendars and this year I had 1, but all of the stuff in advent calendars have a really long expiration date. For example, this, if unopened, doesn't expire until 2025, so I kind of sat on it for a while before I opened it, but yeah. not good. It photographed well, like in a jar, but that's about it. That's the extent of its merit. So unfortunately, this is going to go in the garbage because I just don't know what else to do with it. Next is this Dr. Circle Pro Balance Biotics Clear Up Sun SPF 50. This was one of the worst sunscreens I have ever used in my entire life. And I use sunscreen so much and I review sunscreen so often. I have a couple huge videos with 20 sunscreens each, different reviews, etc. And this was terrible. I can still smell it. It smelled like combination of the traditional sunscreen smell and like pine sol and I don't know, insect repellent. It's so gross, and it went on with a weird greasy white cast on me. I hated this thing. I used it a couple of times, maybe more than a couple of times, but I've used it enough to realize that I absolutely despise it. I cannot use it, and I offered it to a friend, a different friend, a friend who is old enough to be my mom, if she tried, okay? And she loved it. She loved it. The only thing she doesn't love about it is the sticker price. And when I gave it to her, I said, when you are done with this, please save the tube for me because this is probably going to be in my worst of 2023 video. And this was back in like spring or summer. So she did. She returned the empty tube to me, and she said it was her favorite sunscreen ever. She loved how it made her skin look. She loved how it camouflaged some of the things, had like a tone-up effect on her. And she said she wanted to look and maybe order more, but she did not like the price of this, and that's the only reason she didn't buy it, because it's too expensive for her. But other than that, she had no complaints, and it's like her favorite thing ever. So if I ever get more of this, it's going straight to her, but for me, absolutely freaking awful. No thank you. I don't know why, but there are 2 Haru Haru things in this video, and that was really, really unexpected, because Haru Haru makes one of my favorite face cleansers. Haru Haru makes a really good toner that I like. They make some of the most beautifully packaged, award-winning packaging, actually, products, and yet, I don't know, something's happening. So this thing is Haru Haru Wonders Centella ACE Vitafull Miracle Healing Multi-Balm. Please say that 5 times fast. I had no hopes for this because I saw somebody online was saying how bad it is, and it is. It's not good. It is this huge moisturizer balm thing. Think like coffee balm, but bigger. And here's why I don't like it. So the things I do like is that it doesn't smell like anything. Like, it has a little bit of a, well, it maybe smells like a tiny bit like a vanilla sugar cookie, like really, really, really mildly. But the coffee balm, for example, is like an explosion of scent, and this one is not like that. What I don't like about it is that it is so hard that it doesn't really spread on the eyes. The way that I would use a balm like this is to seal in, or like maybe like almost targeted slug the under eye area before going to bed, especially in the fall and winter. And that's why I opened it now, because it's winter. But this thing, I have to tug pretty hard, and it leaves only a little bit. Like, I can barely feel it on the skin, and it feels sticky actually, but it doesn't glide on. What I would have wanted this to do is be like those Rotho Mentholatum, the Japanese brand, melty lip creams. They make these amazing chapsticks that just melt into the skin. They are super soft, very easy to spread. In fact, if you push too hard, you're gonna break it, that kind of thing. That's what I would have wanted this to be, so that I could easily spread it. But when I put it under my eyes, and I'm not gonna demo right now because I'm wearing makeup, but to even get any product on that eye area, I have to tug and push and whatever so much that I don't want to do that. And I keep my house at a pretty reasonable temperature. It's not like it's freezing in here. I don't really know, maybe it would be better in the summer. I've had some things happen like that where I didn't like a cleansing balm that came in a tube because it was really difficult to dispense. But then when the weather warmed up and my house warmed up, it became better. Maybe it's something like that. However, I feel like something like this should be formulated with that in mind, to where it has a slightly lower melting point and would spread a little bit easier. This feels like chapstick that has too much wax in it. I used to make my own lip balms ages ago, not for sale, just for me, but if you mess up that ratio of shea butter and oil to wax, you end up with a really hard wax stick that you can't really apply, and that's what this one feels like. So I have no idea how to use it up. Obviously, I've applied it directly to the skin, so I don't know if I could give it away to somebody. I could probably just cut off like a layer of it, like just cut it off like a piece of salami to give it like a clean starting point, a clean slate, and see if one of my friends would want to try it. But yeah, it's too hard of a texture for it to be effective. This is probably the weirdest product I've tried all year, and maybe like in the last 5 years even, I chose to try it because it was interesting. This is the Peach Deo Pact. So yes, you heard that right. This is deodorant. It's powder deodorant that comes in a little compact like makeup does, and it has a little mirror in there and a little poof and this peach powder that you're supposed to apply to your armpits, but also supposed to be able to reapply throughout the day when you feel sweaty. And without going into too many details that would be unappetizing, I just want you to think about what that looks like if you're out and about and your armpits are wet and sweaty and you're perspiring and you have this compact and you're going to take this poof and put it in the powder and put it on your sweaty, wet armpits. And then what are you going to do with it? Are you going to just pop it right back in there? Just have the Hotel California of bacteria? You can never leave? Just stay and multiply? Because that's what I think of. It's absolutely disgusting. So the only way that I thought to use this would be to apply it before I get sweaty and wet. Like kind of apply it right after deodorant. This cannot replace deodorant for me. I still need deodorant. But I thought maybe in addition to deodorant. But anyway, I just couldn't find a use for it. I do have to mention, and I'm not a doctor or a scientist, but I know that people of Korean descent have different sweat mechanisms and they barely sweat and they don't really smell. So maybe I'm just not the target audience, okay? And then maybe I thought about somebody with maybe like who has skin folds or areas of skin that are prone to a lot of rubbing, chafing. Maybe you could apply this like as a preventative measure. However, I always think that loose powders, like little shaker bottle type stuff, would be much easier or something to use a brush with versus this. And again, if you're slathering this all over your curves, and then what are you doing with this? Just like putting it back? I don't know. It doesn't sound good. So it's a fail for me. This guy. This is the most overhyped thing. And I know we all have different skin types. I know. But I also wonder if... I don't know, maybe some people were just really grateful for the PR and that skewed their reviews more in the positive way. This is the Abib Quick Sunstick Protection Bar, the black packaging one. They do have the airy version, which gets almost no mentions online at all, and that one is good. This one is not. It's clear like this. It's see-through. And that's a great thing, right? It does not leave a white cast. It can't leave a white cast. There's nothing in there to leave a white cast with. However, what it does leave behind is this nasty jelly feeling residue, and that's after one application. Normally for me, a Sunstick is a top-off product. It's something that I would use on top of existing sunscreen, maybe even on top of makeup if I'm out and about and I need to reapply quickly. It's not ideal, it's the only protection, but even if it's your only sunscreen protection, it's still better than nothing. But anyway, I use them usually for reapplication. This thing, one layer, already feels suffocating. And I remember testing this in the summer and the spring and putting this on before my walk. Going for a walk for over an hour and coming back home and touching my face and feeling that sticky, gross thing. It's like slathering petroleum jelly on your skin. With that said, I have combination skin and a lot of people with dry skin said they love it. So that's probably the target audience here. Somebody with really, really dry skin that would just drink up all of that nourishment, but for me it's a no. Couple things left. This, I'm sorry guys, I know this brand has such a great following. People really love it. It's the Lily and Fox nail stickers, and I've done a video for them. Not for them, I bought these myself and I've done a tutorial for this. I still have a couple sets left. I'm considering trying them again, but the reason I didn't like them, first of all, they feel cheap. They are cheap. They're like $3 each sheet. Okay, fine. They're pretty thin. But I applied them, I put a gel top coat on them and cured it, which should have really sealed it in. Even with a gel top coat, things started to peel, things started to wear off, they look like crap pretty quickly. But the reason they are on this list is not just that. Because I had another brand I tried this year, actually just a few weeks ago, Touch and Solve, that only lasted one day on me and it all fell off. These guys though, the customer service was legit gaslighting me. I was not asking them for anything. I paid with my own money. I didn't receive PR from them. I was not asking for a refund because to me, I bought this for a video. I made the video. I got what I needed out of it. But I posted a couple stories and tagged them in it. And they reached out and the gaslighting started. Oh, you probably didn't apply them right. Then they said, oh, well, you took a shower right after. That would affect it. I said, where do you see that I took a shower right after? First of all, I didn't. Second of all, I never said that. Where is this information coming from? Oh, sorry, we were confused. Okay, yeah, you are confused. And then they told me that certain sunscreens can destroy these nail stickers. And to me, that is absolutely a no-go because I wear sunscreen, as should most of us. And why would I want something on my nails that will literally disintegrate when in contact with sunscreen? So, I don't know what happened, if maybe that's what it was. Maybe my set was faulty, I don't know. I did have one of you say, oh, come on, you had one bad experience. Yes, okay, I had one bad experience. So I might try them again, let me know if I should, because I have these 2 sets still. So I might give them another go. Maybe they'll have their redeeming moment, but for right now, don't like them. And last but not least, Sun by Me Yuja Niacin sleeping mask, and this is before the packaging change. They did change the design of the packaging for this line, maybe actually all of their lines, but definitely for this line. I had really high hopes for this because I'm a sucker for James Welsh, and James Welsh really likes it, and he talked about it on his podcast, and I think he talked about it in some of his videos, and he didn't like it as a sleeping mask, but he just liked it as a moisturizer because it's so light and so great, whatever. So I was expecting that. I thought, oh cool, it will be a light gel moisturizer. Maybe I'll use it in the mornings, yada yada, whatever. No, it is terrible. It is so sticky. I can't get past the stickiness. It just feels so tacky and gross, and it just never goes away. I can put it on 2 hours before bed and I'd still be sticky 2 hours later. I couldn't stand it. I ended up using it up on my body under pajama pants, because if I put this on my legs and then wore like a nightgown, I was sticking to the sheets all night. It was terrible. So I don't know. I mean, I can't say I saw any results from it either, but that's because I was not willing to consistently use it on my face. So maybe with consistent use, this would be worth putting up with the stickiness. Maybe the results are like fantastic, but I don't know. I couldn't get past it. It was so cosmetically gross that it was a no thank you for me. Thank you very much for joining me today. That's it for my worst of 2023 video. Let me know if any of these are on your worst list as well, or maybe you love them, or maybe you have something else on your worst list. Let me know what your top fails of 2023 were in the comments. And if you have any suggestions for the brands that I should check out, or like nail related things, please let me know. You can find me on Instagram at KBeautyHobbit, my blog KBeautyHobbit.com, and in my private Facebook group, Korean Beauty Fanatics. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you in my next video, and until then, please remember to always listen to your skin. Thank you so much.